Hello everyone, it's Travis with COCAB, Watch Collectors of California and Beyond, with another full watch review. Tonight, I'm really excited. We're going to be looking at the FARR and SWIT Seaplane watch. This is a cool watch with a cool backstory with the brand. Basically, this brand came about, first started in about November of 2017 when three friends got together and started talking about it, and they are now the founders of the company. That is Adam Farrand Hodge. So the FARR, F-A-R-R, which by the way is pronounced fair, not far, just so you're aware, comes from his middle name. And then Andrew Paetzold, the and, which I always thought was just FARR and SWIT, two people, and then the and was just, telling it was those two working together. But no, the and actually is for the third person, Andrew Paetzold. And then the third person is Zach Switalski. And so that's the history of the naming of the company, basically. I did want to mention this brand, as you're kind of taking a look at the watch here, they are really good about giving back. They are based in Chicago, and they give back to several Chicago-based or local charities, Northern Illinois Food Bank, Chicago Run, Cubs Charities, and the Chicago Auto Club West, I know of for sure. So a lot of good stuff going on there. This watch is kind of a cool one in that it is a pilot-diver combo. I think it's a little more diver-esque, if you will, but it is pilot and diver, and you've even got the seaplane right there on the dial. So that I thought was pretty cool. I was watching some of the owners talking about it, and they said kind of think about like the adventures of Indiana Jones, and made the point that if you're in a seaplane, you're most likely going somewhere fun. And I thought that was pretty cool. This is the kind of thing this watch tries to embody, I think. So pretty cool. And then also just a little bit of extra info, if you will. Adam, a while back, did a interview for COCAB. And in that, he even did a little rap. So he's known to bust out with a rap once in a while. I thought that was pretty cool. So this is limited to 100 pieces. I think you can see that right there on the back. It is numbered, so that's pretty cool. Basic specs, it is 12.5 millimeters high. With this rubber strap, it weighs 119 grams. The diameter is 42 millimeters, and at the crown, it is 47.5 millimeters. It is water resistant to 100 meters or 330 feet. I think you can see that right under the seaplane there. The movement is made in Switzerland. We'll talk about it more in just a little bit, but it is the Swiss ETA 2824-2. And the watch is assembled in the Midwest in the United States, so that's pretty cool. Does come with a 2-year warranty if you do register the watch, or a 1 year if you do not. So definitely want to get that thing registered if you do buy one. The bezel's great. I'll let you listen to it first. Nice, smooth, has no back play to speak of. I mean, I guess a little if you push on it, but once it settles in place, it's really good. I really like this. Very nice, smooth movement. Let me go ahead and line it back up again. You will notice that you do have the minute markers, typical of a dive watch, from the 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock slot. So that's pretty nice. And then you do have the 20, 30, 40, 50 underlined and enumerated there on the bezel. It is 120 click, and one cool thing with it is instead of the grips all the way around, you basically have 8 groupings of 5 grips each. Still has great grip, but I think it just does a little bit for the aesthetics of the watch. I think it looks really nice. So, and the bezel insert is scratch resistant sapphire crystal with lume, which we saw just a little bit ago. We'll look at the buckle next. It is signed, and it looks pretty cool. Let me get that into your view. You can see right there, FARR and SWIT. So that's pretty cool. The case is 316L. So that's the surgical grade stainless steel, a little bit hardened so it doesn't scratch as easily. And the case back, you've got 6 grooves if you ever need to open the watch, which wouldn't recommend unless you know what you're doing. And it is engraved FARR and SWIT. Get it so you can see it there. There we go. Limited edition, 69 of 100, sapphire crystal, and WR 10 atmospheres or 100 meters. And you can see a real nice look there of the movement inside. I always love exhibition case backs so you can see everything inside. I think that's just the way to go. All right, let's flip it back around and kind of look at the dial a little bit. All right, so the first thing that you're going to notice is you've got kind of a gradient dial that goes from black at the bottom to a gray at the top, which I just love. And then I'll try to get, yeah, there you can see the ocean waves go to about 60% of the dial. Let's see, there we go. There you can see them. So you've got the ocean waves with the seaplane basically right in the middle of them. And you can kind of picture like the dark depths of the ocean, and then it goes and kind of goes grayer as you go towards the sky. So I just thought that was a great touch going with the theme of the watch. You've got the chapter ring. You can see it's got the red minute markings, which also match those red hands. So that's a nice design element there. You do have the crystal that we're looking through as a scratch-resistant, flat sapphire crystal with AR coating. The date window you can see is there at the 3 o'clock. You've got the normal indices everywhere except 3, 6, 9, and 12. And then 6, 9, and 12 are enumerated with about half-sized indices. And then the date window at 3 o'clock with about a quarter-size indice right beside that. Crown, 3 o'clock position. It is round, has about 28 grips, or grooves, I should say. Has great grip. I really like this this quite a bit. It is 6.5 millimeters in diameter, in case that's important to you. And then I just have to point out those crown guards. I just love those. They look great. Obviously, they're going to offer pretty serious protection, but I think the looks are great too. I'll let you see the other side of them even. So you've got just a really nice design element there where they really hug that crown and are going to do just a fantastic job protecting it while looking great. So the dial on it, let's get that where you can see clearly. It says it is signed FARR and SWIT, Seaplane, automatic, 330 feet or 100 meters. And then again has the Seaplane logo and the wavy line dial on about 60% of the dial. So pretty cool there. Minute and hour hands are red, outlined, kind of elongated diamond hands with a loomed center. We'll hit that loom again here real quick, just to kind of show you. So those look great. And again, the hour and minute are different colors. The hour and the seconds are the same, which I think is a kind of cool touch. The seconds hand is red with the white loom dot on the end of the hand, or when it's loomed, it's green. So lugs are not drilled. I always love drilled lugs. But I will say, if you're not going to have drilled lugs, it's really nice to have the quick release strap, and this does have that. So that's really nice. The lug width is about 22 millimeters. And I'll just point out real quick, we'll talk more about the strap in a little bit, but it tapers from 22 down to 20 millimeters on that rubber strap, which I think is pretty neat. And then lug to lug, let you get a look at that. That's about 50.5 millimeters. Here's the other side. So you've got the classic side profile there. All right, the loom, we talked about it and we looked at it and you can actually still see it. The two tones are BGW9 and C3. So that's what's giving it such the beautiful look there. The movement, again, we looked at it, but we're going to look at it a little closer there. That is the ETA 2824-2, Swiss made, 25 joules, about 38 hours of power reserve. So you've got a really good power reserve there. If you don't wear it one day, you'll be fine. I love to watch the rotor move around there. I'm a fan of exhibition case backs. I think it just looks so cool to be able to see the inside of the watch working. 28,800 VPG, and it does have a shock absorber called a Novodiac. You can see that right in the very center, basically, is the shock absorber. So great movement. These are known as a workhorse. They're usually going to last forever and, not literally, of course, but a long time and really serve you well. So, all right, I'm going to lay the watch down and we're going to talk about the packaging a little bit. So the watch came in this really large, I think it's a 5-liter, what is it? It's called a dry bag. It's waterproof material. Inside of that was the box, but I also want to show you, also inside of that is this cool tool, watch, like strap changing tool. It's not focusing great, but there we go. So you got that, it's signed, but on the back side, it's got millimeter measurements, which I find really, really cool when you're trying to decide like the lug width and things like that. And then the box is just the normal FARR and SWIT. See, I did it the same thing. And a great place for the watch right inside there. So, all right, set that back over there. Okay, I did want to talk a little bit more about the strap. Especially, let me show you this on the back side. Right up there close to the lugs, here and here. Now, I didn't see anything in their materials about the watch, but I'll tell you just from wearing it, it makes it very comfortable. But the most important thing is it doesn't stray on your wrist. I don't know if you have watches sometimes that stray and they move around quite a bit. This one hardly did at all, and I think it's because of those design elements there. So I thought that was pretty cool. This is the FKM rubber, black. It comes in red as well if you want that. It is dust resistant. Talked about it tapering already from 22 to 20, so that's nice. It does have 9 punched holes, so a total distance of 50 millimeters that you've got that you can size accordingly. It has 2 keepers. Look at that right there. So there you go. It'll slide up and down very nice and very easy. Very, very comfortable. That was what I noticed after wearing it several times, is just how comfortable it was. So with that, I'm going to actually get into the experiences I had with the watch. Winding, very smooth. Let me unscrew the crown here. Can I show you? Very smooth. It has a decent degree of tension, if you will, which is what I like. I think it's perfect, actually, with that. Setting the time, very smooth. And this one's really good. It only has about 1/7 of a rotation before it starts moving the hands. Very little. So very little give, which I like. I think that's a good sign of a well-made movement. Setting the date was very smooth. Let me see if I can click it in one. So you can see it goes and, oops, I need to pull it out just a little bit. Sorry, hold on a second. Okay, there's the time. There we go. I couldn't find the right spot. So there's the date. You can see it just clicks into place. It's nicely centered. That's the first time I've had a hard time even finding it, probably because I'm on camera. But it's been great setting the date and all that, very smooth. You can hear the satisfying click and all that. Turning the bezel, we talked about and showed that already, very clean. Putting on and taking off, very user-friendly. Screw down crown is about 4 to 5 partial turns is what I typically do. Yeah, there's 5 partial turns is what I found there. What could be improved? The buckle has a little more play in the tang, I think it's called, than I would like. Try to get a good view of it here. So you can see it goes a little bit more than I'd like. No big deal, but you know, some of my things are maybe a little nitpicking, but I do like to at least point them out so that you're aware of all the things that I saw. The other one, and again, this is definitely nitpicking, but when you do extend the crown all the way, it does wobble a little bit. Let's see if you can see it here. So, can you see that? Yeah, I think you can. Not a big deal, but just a little bit more than I like typically. And then the indice chapter ring bezel, they're not perfectly aligned sometimes. The 9 o'clock is a good example. Let's see if that's exactly, well, this is not exactly at 12, so let me move it 1. There we go. But you can kind of see the bezel, or I'm sorry, the dial enumeration is not perfectly centered with the chapter ring. Again, I'm nitpicking. Most of them are perfect or close, and even that one nobody's going to notice unless you're really looking for it. And then, of course, I mentioned the drilled lugs. I always like the drilled lugs. Now, what I'm excited about, what I love, what's a little bit different, and you probably know I love to see watches that do things that are a little bit original and stuff. So I love that gradient dial from black to gray. That's just amazing. I love those waves and the seaplane and just kind of the story and the feeling that you get from wearing a watch that's designed to encourage you to have a good time, I guess. The crown guard, I think, was amazing. Let me screw that back in real quick. I just think that's a great look as well as protection. The bezel grips, again, those are kind of cool, a little bit original. The dry bag was really cool, and then the tool with the millimeter markings, something a little bit different. You don't get with most watches. It is a waterproof material, so that's kind of nice. Now, of course, the top is open, but if you fold it in half or something, you've got a great bag that'll keep things protected. The underside of the strap, again, just really a lot of little touches with this watch, and so it's comfortable and doesn't slide on your wrist. The quick change, that was another nice little touch. And then the two-tone lume. So there was a lot I loved about this watch. I will tell you that right now. I think that you would probably enjoy it quite a bit. This watch does sell for $749. Check out their website. They've got some other watches there as well, but I think you're going to like what you see there. There's some really good stuff going on at this company. So I appreciate you watching. Please put your comments down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If there's anything I didn't cover, feel free to ask in the comments and I'll get right back to you. If you have a brand that you'd like me to review that I haven't, just let me know. And thank you so much. Happy collecting. Have a great day.